Hey y'all, it's Shelly and I am Scrappy Longstocking. I am here to share with you today my pages that I came up with for the storyteller kit questions and answers. The pages that I've got are the 3x4 questions or life question cards that were on the cut aparts, and they're numbered 1 through 12. So during the last month, I have been asking questions about my faith and doing a little diving in on the internet and some websites that I trust to give some good answers. So the first thing I did was do the research so that I could get the answers. And then I just wrote down the list of questions that I had asked. And then I came up with I guess I might call it a summary of the questions that I asked. And basically, what I then did was I just printed them out on sticker paper in Canva. I use Canva for this. And then I put them in the order that I asked them when I put them on the 3x4 cards, since the 3x4 cards are numbered. So the first one that I'm struggling with the question is Jesus real outside of the Bible? And the answer that I came up with was that yes, he was. And that question was important to me and constituted a life question because my whole life is built around being a Christian. And the older I get, the more it is about being a Christian. And so I found some references. So I'm showing you the details of the cards. So I found some references and I listed them on that journaling that identify Jesus outside of the Bible. So then my second question was, since Jesus is real, who is he? So I have read a book called Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis, and the basic idea was proving Christianity, I think, was the basics of that book. And so many people want to say that Jesus was a good teacher. Well, based on his claims, he couldn't just be a teacher because of the types of claims that he made. And so he either has to be who he says he is or else a lunatic. I came down that on the side of he is who he says he is, which is the Son of God, and that led to the next question. So since Jesus is who he says he is, God must be real. Is he good? And what is good? So for this one, I went to a website called gotquestions.org, and it answers a bunch of questions about Christianity. And there's thousands and thousands of questions on there. And I came to a conclusion that God is good, and being good is the absence of evil. And so where we find things in the world that are not good, then those things are where evil has infiltrated in one way or another. So then that led to question number 4 is, how do I trust the Lord, and what does that look like? So the question is, how does one trust the Lord? And it's, you have to get to know him. So you have to know God just like you have to know a person in order to trust them. And so I've been struggling with trusting God because for me, I felt like I thought I knew him, but then began to question whether or not I actually knew him based on what was going on in my life and my situation and circumstances. And because there's no evil in God because he's good, that means he has to be trustworthy. And that I have had a relationship with God for several years means that I can look backwards and see that he has shown up in my life in various ways, shapes, and forms, which means that since I've trusted him before, then I can continue to trust him. So because of his goodness and his character, that means that I can trust him. So then I moved on to question number 5, which was, what does it mean to seek the Lord? And this is a question that has been plaguing me since the beginning of the year. So my word of the year, for one little word, is adventure. But along with that, I'm also having the second word, seek. And I'm doing that privately, and reading the Bible and trying to seek the Lord. So I came up with an answer for that, and then moved on to question number 6, which was, what does the Lord's presence do for us? Why does it matter that the Lord is with us? And I asked this question because while I was in the midst of struggling, people just kept saying, well, the Lord is with you, God is with you. And I was like, well, that doesn't do me any good if he's not answering my prayers or helping me in the situations that I'm in. And so I found an answer to that, and it was basically the presence of the Lord brings joy to Christians, to people who believe in him, like real joy. And then question number 7 was, what do I do when I feel the Lord has abandoned me? So I clearly have gone through some deep stuff, and I felt like I had been abandoned because I wasn't getting answers to my prayers. And so I went to Reddit, of all places, to get this answer. And I also went over to gotquestions.org, and that one told me basically to have faith because of all of the other answers that I've already gotten. And then question number 8 is it okay to complain? Because I felt a lot like a child when I began to recover from this deep sadness inside of me. So for that one, the answer is yes. I was reminded on Easter Sunday that there is an entire book of the Bible that are complaints. It's called the Book of Lamentations. It's just one long complaint. So I am not alone in my complaining. And number 9 was, how do I find hope in the hopelessness? And that was a sermon by Rick Warren that I watched on Easter Sunday as well. And I just listed out his 6 points that he gave us there. On this particular one, I got the paper on there crooked somehow, and then I tried to pull it up, and because somebody had said, oh, it pulls up okay, but then it started to tear, so I ended up having to just leave it. And I think it was because it slipped as I was beginning to press it down. So then my question number 10 is, how can I be joyful in this situation where I'm struggling with human relationships, with Christian relationships, I'm struggling with life in general? How do I be joyful in that situation? And the answer was basically return to the habits that I've already developed, which is reading my Bible and going to church and participating in life group, but also just to focus on God rather than myself. And so I pulled that card off really easily because I only put a tiny dab of tape on there. So that, because I thought I was originally going to write on it, and I wanted to make sure that I could pull it off. But question number 11 was, what do I need to learn in this valley? And my answer was, in Branson, I learned that I must calm down and trust. Basically, I needed to make sure that I was trusting. And that's hard. I can tell you that. And then question number 12 was, have I built on a rock or on sand? And so I just decided, I didn't research this one. I took a step back and looked around at my life, and I just decided that I built on a rock, because even in the midst of all of this for over a month, it's been 2, 3, 4 months that I've been struggling. So even in the midst of all of this, I still returned to God. So I put them, so this was what I had set up about a month ago. And then I put them all in my, so next up is the Q&A page. It was the prompt paper that was in the kit. And I went ahead and started by date stamping it. I did it on May 16th. And the first question was, what are you watching? And seriously, you guys, I've been watching The Golden Girls. It's so funny. And I didn't get it when I was a kid, but I darn sure get it now. I can tell you that. And I just left the writing in here. So you could put it on fast forward if you're not really into that. The second question was, what songs are you playing on repeat? And there's 2 songs that I'm really paying attention to right now. One is called No Fear by John Reddick, and the other is called Flowers by Samantha Ebert. I am in love with those songs. To get the name of the artist and the name of the second song, I had to go out to the internet and look them up. The next question is, what's lighting you up on the inside? And my answer for that was being with other people and trying new things. This is a side of myself that has been lost for 10 years. So for a very, very long time, I have been a staunch introvert, avoiding people, hanging out with my very small group of chosen people, like my ex-husband and my friends in Ohio, those sorts of people. So recently I have been seeking out new situations so that I can make new friends. And I am finding some of the best people and some of the most fun situations. So the next question is, what are you daydreaming about? For me, I have been daydreaming about vacations and having fun and taking small solo adventures and making friends and basically just finding new things to do and seeing what I like and how life is changing. It's so fun. And then the next question is, what's hard? And for me, that was the questions about my faith and searching through my pain for answers to my questions. That has been so very hard, but it changes how you think and what you know. So my last question on here is, what are you creating in this season? Scrapbook layouts and a beautiful garden in my backyard and a wonderful life with new connections here in Arkansas and love and hope. So these are the things that I'm creating right now. And I'm really glad this paper was in this kit so that I had the opportunity to fill it out and put these answers in here. And I'm also so very glad that I waited to do it until I felt better, because the day I originally put this layout together, I was not feeling very good. I was not happy. And I just know that my answers would be completely different. So I just wanted to show you all how these pages are coming together in my story album and how they look in context of some of the things that I've already done. So I already posted the video where I started putting things together. And I'm thinking about putting a collage or a full page photo on the back of that 8x10 page. And then there's my questions and answers. And then there's my gratitude page. And I like how it came about. And I really am just so thankful that I get the opportunity to share this with you all. So please hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you around the internet.